Hello dear students, this is Dr. Ankur Solanki, Assistant Professor in Department of the Physics at Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University, Gandhinagar. Today we are going to discuss about the polarization. In this chapter we will discussing about with the polarization of the light, very first term, and will be followed it by the production of the polarization. It means how the polarized light can be produced. And then we will discussing about the types of the polarization and their representations. Furthermore, we will be discussing about the Morse law and the polarization and analyzer, and at the last we will be discussing about the double refraction. So before going to further details of the polarization, let's see where this polarization is being used in our daily life. So here are the three best examples: sunglasses, 3D movie glasses, and car windscreens, where this polarization is being used. So in the sunglasses, these both the glasses are coated by the polarization film. So this polarizing film help to reduce the intensity of the sunlight passing through it. In the second case, if you see in the 3D glasses, two different polarizers. See, here is the one polarizer, here is the another polarizer, which has the axis perpendicular to each other, are being coated on these two glasses. So we are not going to further details that how it is going to work it. So because we need a deeper understanding of the polarization before we discuss about this working mechanism of 3D glasses. Okay, third application is car windscreen. If you can see, when the light incident on the car windscreen, which is coated with the polarizing film, then a a partial amount of the light is reflected back, then only a partial amount of the light is passing through it, so it doesn't create a glare on our eyes. So these are the three best examples in our daily life which is being used due to the polarization. So the first question is, what is polarization? So the polarization is the characteristics of all transverse waves. Please take a note. It is the characteristics of all transverse waves. Okay. So here is the representation of the transverse wave characteristics. So generally we have a two kinds of wave. One is longitudinal waves, another is transverse waves. So let's say when a longitudinal wave is passing through a window which has the orientation perpendicular perpendicular direction. So these longitudinal wave is not influenced by the window direction. If you see, the either the window is aligned vertically or horizontally. So it is the transverse wave, sorry, longitudinal wave is not influenced by the direction or orientation of the window. While if we are talking about the transverse wave, when the oscillation in the transverse waves, if you can see here the oscillation is aligned in the direction of the window, then what happens? These oscillation can easily transmit through it. While if the direction of these oscillation is aligned perpendicular to the direction of the window, then what will happen? These oscillations will be completely blocked out and the transmitted waves will be zero almost. Okay, so there will not be any transmission in these transverse waves. So this is the difference between the longitudinal wave and transverse wave. So you can see, I just repeat one more time, the longitudinal wave is not influenced by the orientation of the window, while the transverse wave is completely influenced by the direction or orientation of the window. So what is the characteristics of polarization? So if we see here point by points here, the interference and diffraction enables us to determine the wavelength, but they do not give any information about the character of the waves, such as transverse, longitudinal, or linear, circular, or elliptical. That's true. When we studied about that interference and diffraction, we didn't assume or we didn't consider whether these are transverse wave or longitudinal wave or they are polarized wave in terms of the linear or circular. Okay. Second, the existence of preferential direction for a transverse wave leads to the characteristics phenomena known as polarization. This is the same thing just we have discussed. So polarization is just characteristics of uh, transverse waves. Okay. Then third is the polarization is not found with longitudinal wave as they do not possess a directional properties. So these, because these remain these waves, it means longitudinal wave does not have directional properties. That means these waves cannot be polarized. So their polarization properties cannot be determined because they don't have oscillation. And final points, if in a transverse wave the direction of the oscillation at all points are strictly confined to the same single plane, the wave is said to be polarized. It means when the transverse waves, the direction of the oscillation will be aligned either vertically or horizontally, but remain, take a note, it should be only in the single plane, then this wave will be polarized wave, right? Okay, so now let's understand how the polarization of the light occurs. So we have a two polarizer 1 and polarizer 2, and axis of these polarizer are in the same direction, or they are polarization axis in vertical direction. Okay, we have a light source, and the oscillation of this light source in all the direction, that's why these are sometimes called non-polarized light. Okay, so when this light is passing through the first polarization, so the oscillations which have in the direction of this polarization axis will only be passed through it. Other oscillation which are perpendicular or in other direction will be completely blocked. Okay, so while these oscillations will pass through the second polarization, because these polarizer have the axis parallel to each other, so this oscillation can easily be transmitted. Okay, while in the second case, if you see, if the second polarization has the polarization axis perpendicular to the first polarization, then there will not be any transmission beyond the second polarization. So second polarizer will completely block the light. Okay, so there will not be any transmission. So we can see this phenomena considering this figure over here. So let's say we have a rope in our hand and we are shaking it, and we have a window. Okay, if the window opens vertical direction, or we can say in the direction where we are waving our rope, then these waves can be easily transmitted through these two windows, window 1 and window 2. But in the second case, let's say the second window, we what we do, the direction of the window is perpendicular, so we can say this is perpendicular. If you can see here, this is perpendicular to the first window over here, then what will happen, these oscillation will can easily pass through the first window while it will be blocked. So there will be only a straight line. Okay, there will not be any oscillation beyond the second window, so it will be completely blocked. So this is the phenomena of the polarization of the light. Then how this light is polarized. Now, what are the categories of these polarization? Generally, we put them in two main categories. One is unpolarized light and second is polarized light. So generally, the unpolarized light are is natural light. If you see, then all the natural lights are unpolarized. This could be from the sun, this could be from the torch or any other source. Okay, this will be unpolarized light. While the polarized light is divided into four different categories. One is linearly polarized light, second is partially polarized light, third is circularly polarized light, and fourth is elliptical polarized. we will go one by one in all these four polarized light. Okay, so before going that, let's see, consider a electromagnetic wave. So in the previous chapter we have discussed about the electromagnetic wave. So the light is also electromagnetic wave. So what is the light can be represented? So light always consists of a electric field and the magnetic field, which are perpendicular to each other. So this is the electric field direction and this is the magnetic field direction, and the direction of this field is always perpendicular to the direction of propagation. So this is the direction of the propagation of the wave. So this is the representation of our light. Okay. Okay, so let's first discuss what is linearly polarized light. So when a wave has only y displacement or z displacement, so we are talking about the displacement only in the one direction, whether it could be in y direction or it could be in z direction, then we can say that it is linearly polarized light in this direction. Okay, so let's say we have a wave and it has oscillation only in the y direction. If you see, this is the oscillation in the y direction while it is propagating in x direction. So electric field is only in y direction. So this light will be called linearly polarized light in y direction. So this can be represented by the horizontal lines. Horizontal, if you can see, these are the horizontal lines here, and it is perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. This is our direction of propagation. This is in the x direction. This is the first case. There will be the another case. Okay, while these oscillations are in plane, or we can say in z direction. You can see the oscillation is in z direction, and this oscillation is also perpendicular to the direction of propagation, and this can be represented by the dots. Other way around, if you see here, we have a window screen, laptop screen, or computer screen. So if the oscillation is in plane is in vertical direction, if the oscillation is vertical direction, then this will be, let's say, in y polarized light. While if the oscillation is in and out of the our screen, so it will be either in or out of the screen, then it will be our called z direction oscillation. So this can be represented by dots, and sometimes this also represented by the parallel lines, which is inclined approximately at 45 degree compared to the previous one. So these both are same. Okay, this is the representation of the z polarized line. Here is the another representation of the x polarized wave and y polarized wave. So if you see here, the all oscillations are only in the x direction, and the wave is propagating in the z direction. So this is called x polarized wave. While in the second figure, if you can see here, the oscillations are in y direction, while the light is propagating in z direction. So this is called z y polarized wave. So here is the another representation of the light waves. So generally we have in the any light wave, we have the magnetic field component and the electric field component. When this light wave is polarized, it might be having only one component. So you can say this wave is polarized, and this is having only electric field component, and this will be, let's say, this is in y direction, so it will be y polarized light. Okay, let's understand now what is unpolarized light, which is generally natural light. So if we see, the waves emitted by one molecule, any one molecule may be linearly polarized. Means one molecule, the waves which is emitting from the one molecule is always in one direction. It's like unidirection. Remember, take a note. This is linearly polarized. It means it is in one direction. But any actual light source contains a tremendous number of molecules with random orientation. So means the light source is emitting a large number of molecules which are emitting the light waves in different direction, all are in different direction. Okay, they are, I mean, all are linearly polarized light, but the orientation of these lights are in random direction. So what will happen? So the emitted light is a random mixture of waves, or we can say the mixture of linearly polarized waves. So we can say this is the mixture of linearly polarized wave. Take note, this is a mixture of linearly polarized waves in all possible transverse directions. So you need to take a note that this is the mixture of all linearly polarized waves in all possible transverse direction. Then it becomes unpolarized light, right? So this is the mixture of linearly polarized light in all possible different direction. Then it becomes unpolarized light. So here is the example of, you can see here, this the oscillations are represented in all random direction, in the all direction. Then it will be our linearly polarized, sorry, unpolarized light. So how it can be represented? It can be represented by in this way, where we have a linearly polarized light in, let's say, in y polarized light, then x polarized light, y polarized light plus x polarized light. So if naturally, if we see here, this will be almost unpolarized light, unpolarized or natural. So it's like a mixture of it. There is a second representation which we have, I mean, these lights are completely overlapped. Okay, so these are the representation of it. So it is not in unidirection, it's not in single direction, it is in random direction. Okay, so this is the representation of unpolarized light. So now third point is partially polarized light. So what is partially polarized light? If you see from the words itself, this light is partially polarized. Previously we saw the linearly polarized light. So it's, we can say it is completely polarized light in one direction. While in the partially polarized light, if you can say, this is dominantly polarized in one direction. I say the word dominantly polarized in one direction. Okay, so we can say, in generally unpolarized light, vibration in one direction predominant over vibration in the other direction. So this is generally unpolarized light, but the vibration in one direction is predominant in the another direction. Then it will be become partially polarized light. Okay, so like natural light, it can be represented in the form of a superposition of two incoherent plane polarized waves having different amplitude and polarized in mutually orthogonal planes. So let's say here is the example. We can say this is obtained for the superposition of two incoherent plane polarized waves. So here, if you can see the first example, we have a two plane polarized wave. One is perpendicular, let's say in the x direction, which is dominated over here, and another is in y direction, if we say see here. Okay, so we are just assuming this is a perpendicular, so we, for a moment, let's say, don't represent the direction either x or y. So this is are in perpendicular direction to each other. But if you can see, these are dominated by one direction. If you see, these are dominated by another. That's the second case over here. Then first case is dominating, first part is dominating in the one direction, is dominating to the other direction. So these kind of the light is called partially polarized light, where we can say the what again we can say, let's say the vertical vibration is dominating to the horizontal vibration light, vibrating waves. Okay, so these are called linearly polarized light. Generally, unaided human eyes, means naked human lights, cannot detect the difference between partially polarized light and natural or unpolarized light. So we need some instrument or some glasses to detect this kind of the polarized light. Now let's discuss about the circular and elliptical polarized light. Okay, first we go to the circular polarized. Let's say we have a coherent light waves which has the component Ex and Ey which are equal in magnitude. Take a note, these are equal in magnitude but differ in the phase by 90 degree. So these are equal in magnitude and differ in phase by 90 degree. So what happened when the such two waves superpose, the magnitude of the resultant vector E stay constant. Okay, stay constant because they are equal in magnitude and differ by 90 degree, but rotates about the direction of propagation such that it goes on the sweeping a circular helix. It appears on a circular helix in space during the course of propagation. So when it's propagating, the waves is propagating, this kind of the waves is propagating their vector propagation, or it forms a circular helix. You can see the circular helix. So this kind of light is said to be circular polarized light. So here is the representation of the circularly polarized light. So here you can see here the how it is propagating. The z-axis is the propagation direction of the circular polarized light, and if you see the helix direction, so helix is following a path of circle. So this is following a path of circle. So this is called circular polarized light. Now elliptical polarized light, this is the final category of the polarized light. So this is the elliptical polarized light. You can see from the words itself it should be elliptical polarized light. So the case is slightly different. What happens in that case? Suppose the coherent plane polarized light waves Ex and Ey, which are polarized in mutually perpendicular planes, that's correct, is the same, which is should be at 90-degree phase difference. So these are mutually perpendicular. But what will happen? Magnitude of both waves are not equal, and also they slightly differ in phase. Okay, so magnitude are all not equal. Okay, in that case what? So when these two waves superimpose, the magnitude of their resultant vector E changes in time, and the vector E also rotates about the direction of propagation. The tip of the vector E sweeps flatten helix in the space, so that the pattern will be elliptical in that case, and it traces an ellipse in the plane perpendicular to the ray of propagation. It's similarly as the case of the circularly polarized light, but what's happened? There is a difference between the magnitude of the Ex and Ey is different. That's the main point over here to be noted. Here are few links for the further details of the polarization of light. You guys can go through it.